Welcome to Here's What We Know. Here's something I need you to know about today's conversation. I have talked to really so many people. Garth Brooks, George Strait, Reba McEntire, anybody in the world of country music. I've talked to actors, I've talked to athletes, I've talked to everybody. I have never texted my sisters to tell them who I was talking to until this very moment. I texted my sisters to let them know that I was talking to the Queen of Bluegrass, Rhonda Vincent. It's the only guest they would have ever cared about. How are you, Rhonda?
Oh, I'm just great. I'm great. You know what? And since you said that, I think I should bring out the tiara. Since you said Queen of Bluegrass, it never comes out in the case.
Yeah, well,
Look at
if you
this.
have a tiara and you're not wearing it, you're doing it wrong.
I know. It's a shame, isn't it? I was
Look at
officially
that.
crowned the Queen of Bluegrass. Can I wear it the rest of the interview?
Yes, you can. But listen,
I've never done that before.
And you know what? Here's the truth of it is when the Wall Street Journal tags you as Queen of Bluegrass, it's not like Gary in San Jose said, "Oh, you're the Queen of Bluegrass." No. The Wall Street Journal said you're the Queen of Bluegrass.
That's right. That's right. So, and then I was officially crowned. There's an organization up in Iowa, and they said, you know what? The Wall Street Journal said you're the Queen of Bluegrass, but you've never been officially crowned. And they got this tiara, and they officially did the crowning. So,
well, they're not wrong.
All right. Here, I'm going to get a screenshot of this too.
Well, as you should, because I'm telling you, when it comes, if you love bluegrass music, and I love bluegrass music, there are just a handful of names that everybody knows. And I don't know how you don't start with you.
Well, thank you.
It's a toss-up, but you start with Rhonda Vincent, and you go from there.
Well,
you can throw in everybody else you want. Well, because you've earned it. It's not like people did it because you were nice. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And you are a lovely person from everything I've found.
Oh,
but
thank you.
Your ability to take this music that I love, I grew up on. I didn't realize it was a different kind of music when I was growing up. Did you?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
You did? Because I grew up in the South.
No, I know now, but when I was growing up, it was my mom and dad and grandpa and friends. And so and Catherine sang like Kitty Wells, and my grandpa would sing a Bill Monroe song. And so it was a melting pot of these together. But then as I got, my family ended up specializing in bluegrass. There's a special feeling. There's an authenticity that you get in bluegrass. And it's just a special feeling when you go to a festival and the banjos are ringing and you're outside and you hear the music and it just fills your heart with such joy. There's just nothing like it.
See, I grew up in South Alabama. LA, we like to call it, for Lower Alabama.
Yeah.
And I did not realize that bluegrass was a genre. It was just music. Right? In our church, if you think about it, most of our church songs, and I had this conversation with William Lee Golden from the Oak Ridge Boys, same thing. Most of our church songs were really bluegrass songs.
Ooh.
Rugged Cross, Supper Time. Think about it. It had the high lonesome, and that's what it was.
That's
it
true.
just hit you right there.
That is very true. Yeah, it's not. There's so many things that, like, when you're just doing it, you're not analyzing it. But when someone questions it or isn't familiar with it, and you start going there, or they want you to describe it, what is it? It's like, well, bluegrass is about family, and it's you have the kids that are playing, and it's a family atmosphere, and you can bring grandma, and you can bring the baby, and there's fun, and it's just joyful, and so many wonderful things. So you don't really think about that when you're in the kind of in the thick of it, I guess.
When because you're from a musical family. I'm from a musical family, but I was not the one who ever learned how to play a guitar or a piano. And my family they would go out and do guitar pulls. You know what they did?
Yeah.
They would hand me a mandolin, and they taught me 3 chords.
That's how I started.
And then
playing
they would. Yeah, and my brother-in-law would look at me, and go, "Hey, whatever." He would give me the chord, and that way I could play along with them, not knowing. And I could not make that chord today if I had to.
What?
But they found something. They found something that I could do due to my limited space with strings. And for you people who can actually play mandolin really well, you and my brother-in-law Dennis, I mean, because you start off, I was reading about it, you started off with a snare drum, and then you found the mandolin, and then all of a sudden it was fiddle, and it's like, my gosh, you're just one of those kids, aren't you?
Well, my dad played everything, so it was kind of a requirement. It's like, okay, your mandolin's tuned the same as the fiddle, and now you're 12, and now you can play the fiddle now. And then I went through the phase with the banjo and the dobro, and all the different things. And I started playing guitar by accident because I was 16 and writing songs, and I saw these people singing their songs. Like, man, I need to learn how to play this so I can write a song, and if I need to sing it for somebody, I can do it. So. Yeah.
Don't you love in Nashville? I mean, there is, and even today, but there is that long-standing people who love, it's like Vince Gill told me. He goes, my first love is bluegrass. It's just one day I decided I'd like to own a house.
Oh, now, hey, I resent that because I play bluegrass and I own a house or more.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, you were smart because you never decided to go to Nash Vegas. I mean, you decided to, to stay, and you're starting to see that. But you stayed in Missouri.
Right. Yeah, I did. I just recently moved to Nashville. So, but yeah, I've stayed in Missouri for most of my life. And it was just I love that my mother still lives there, and it's fun it's kind of a reset. Go to Missouri because you come to Nashville, you get on the bus and you do the business and you play the Opry, and then I would go to Missouri. It's kind of a reset. So, but you know what? I'm enjoying, my grandkids are here now, and I'm glad that they're 15 minutes away. My grandsons are. My granddaughter is near Washington, D.C. because my daughter is the 6th generation now of the Vincent family, making history as the first female lead of the United States Navy band Country Current, their premier country and bluegrass band. So watch for Sally. She's the 6th generation of the Vincent family making music.
Shut up.
Yeah.
How cool
she
is
has
that?
our first granddaughter, Faye Monroe, after Bill Monroe, and that she loves the mandolin. That's the only thing that gets her to sleep is they have to play this Sally's like, if I hear this mandolin tune again, but she likes the same mandolin tune. So that name Monroe must really be bred in her.
Well, Faith ain't a bad one either. I mean, you've worked with Faith Hill. Come on. That's not bad. The people you work with that I loved seeing all of this stuff. I mean, I loved Heartbreaker's Alibi.
Oh,
I mean,
with Dolly.
With Dolly.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Dolly's
now.
on our, I don't know if you've seen our new project, Destinations and Fun Places, but Dolly's on there along with Cody Johnson, one of the hottest male artists in country music, on Country Roads.
Isn't it amazing? Here's my take on Dolly. And this says more about me than it does Dolly. If I'm worth what she's worth, I don't think I care anymore. Right? I don't think I'm hanging out. I don't think I'm eating 400 calories a day so I can fit into a size 0.
See?
I just don't.
See, that's the great thing about her. And she's working on a musical of her life now in New York for Broadway. And I love that she never stops it. And she is still motivated, and because she loves what she does.
Everybody loves Dolly. And the key about Dolly to me is she may be the smartest person I've ever met. And she would never let you in on that.
That's right. That is right.
I mean, it's just something, but how much was it scary singing with her? Was it, I mean, I know it was joyful. I know, but the first time that you stand in a room with Dolly Parton and go, let's sing something.
Right.
What's that like?
Well, the first time I had the answering machine, this is back in 1992, the answering machine, long before we had voicemail, the red light is blinking, and I pushed the red button, and it said, "Hi, this is Dolly Parton, and I want you to come to Nashville and sing with me." Now, I'm in Green Top, Missouri, 550 miles away. I think it's a joke, but I called the number back, and sure enough, Carl Jackson had sang with her that day, and she said, "Who should we get to sing the other part?" And he said, "You should get Rhonda Vincent." So she called, and my brother Darren and I got in the car. We drove overnight. We weren't supposed to be here until 2 days later, but we got in the car and drove overnight because this was 5 p.m, probably. drove overnight, and the next day I found myself in the studio singing background, singing harmony with Dolly Parton, and so thrilled that I have had the chance to sing with her, and she's become a very dear friend. She sang on my projects, been in videos, so fun to show you exactly. You're talking about all the things that she does. She could be anything she wants to be. Do anything.
Yeah.
In 2005, I had a life-threatening illness, and I didn't expect it to be talking to you right now. And when I got out of the hospital, I came home to her standing in the living room in Green Top, Missouri, because she said, I had to make sure you were okay myself. I'm like, I just started crying. I could not believe that Dolly Parton would would travel 550 miles and come and see me. And so that's how special she does. So many things for so many people that you will never know about and that you never hear about. But
That's what I'm saying. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think Dolly Parton will ever fall off a pedestal. I really don't. Everybody does because we have feet of clay. But
Yeah.
what Dolly does is that she surprises you only in good ways. That story right there.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could love her anymore. I just increased my love for her.
Oh, see? And
Right?
now you're talking about the most scariest moment. One of my, probably my most nervous moment, or one of them. So they called and said, Dolly wants you to back her up at Dollywood. It's like, okay, we didn't know what we were doing. They said, be at Dollywood on this day at this time. So band, we're dressed, we're getting ready to walk on stage. Dolly comes in. We know we're singing Jolene. I've recorded Jolene, and we think that she's going to sing it. We're going to back her up, right? That simple. Right before we walk on stage, I was like, okay, you know what? We're singing harmony. We're doing this, doing it in this key. She goes, no, you're singing Jolene. I'm singing harmony with you. I'm like, what? And so I'm on stage. It was a press conference at the Celebrity Theater at Dollywood. All the press is there, video, cameras everywhere. And I'm having to sing Jolene, and we are face to face, nose to nose. And it's like, all I can think of is like, don't forget the words, because I'm leading the song and I've sang it a million times, but this is the time when you'll forget it, right? I'm like, oh my gosh. And so here we are, mic to nose, singing it. And that was one of my most nervous ever in my entire life, was singing her song and she singing harmony with me.
You know what's amazing about her? And I say this because you're a dear friend of hers now. She is eminently competitive, because you can't get to her level of success without being competitive.
That's true.
She's competitive without a jealous bone in her body.
Yes. Yes, she wants opportunity for everybody. Isn't that great?
Okay, let me see. Let me count up all those people I could come up with who are like that. Dolly. I got nothing. I got nothing after that.
That lady, she's amazing.
Well, and the fact that, you and I, at some point, we're going to have to do this again, because I want a long time with you, because I'm just going to go down to the rabbit hole with you, because I know chit. That's what you and I'll do for the longest time. But when you sit back and you look at some of the people that you work with, let me tell you right now, you know where we missed a hit in country music? You know where we missed it and it should have been a hit? Your version of Please, Mr. Please.
Oh.
Should have been a hit. We should have played that in country music. That was a great country music song. Of course, Olivia Newton-John. And the way you took it and you turned it bluegrass with the harmonies, total swing and a miss. And I don't even know if it was ever released into it, but it should have been. And guys, if you can't find it, you need to find it. You need to look up Rhonda Vincent and Please, Mr. Please. I think it's a perfect song, and then it's a perfect bluegrass song.
I love it. It was a fluke that we're singing Four Strong Winds, the Ian Tyson song, turned around and just started singing Please, Mr. Please. It's like, where did this come from? What in Four Strong Winds reminded me? And I said, oh my goodness, I think this will make an incredible up-tempo bluegrass song. And I went to the band and I said, I want to do the song Please, Mr. Please. And they said, we've never heard it. I'm like, 1972, Olivia Newton-John. I said, how have you not heard this? They said, we weren't born yet. They don't know this. So it's
I
either a
hate
song
young
that
people.
people know, or when we start doing it, like we kick off almost every show. It's my favorite song now. And we kick off the show and people instantly, there's a joyful heart from it. It's somehow, it's like, man, and the people who know it, you can see them, there's like, corner of the bar, what is this? Oh yeah, B17, by B17, they're singing along. Or the people who don't know are like, I like this. So I love having a song like that. Thank
I've
you.
never heard of that song. I hate young
yeah,
people.
the band
I
is
hate
not
young
this.
people so much.
I know it, right?
Well, I found that song and I've always loved it. And when your version, it's just, I mean, it's just great. I mean, you've got your list. It would be easier for the Society of Preservation of Bluegrass Music in America. It is easier to just tell you she's won everything they have. And she's won it. If you see those trophies behind her, if you're watching the YouTube video.
Oh, there they are.
All right. That imagine everything you could win. She's won it many, many, many times, right? Because that's how you get to be the queen of bluegrass. But hearing the songs and going through it, and I just love bluegrass. I love the harmonies. I love you know what I wish we had more of in bluegrass, and you've had it every now and then. I wish we had a really good bass voice.
Oh, what?
A bass voice.
Oh, yes.
A bass. We get the high harmonies, but to really set off the high harmonies, every now and then you'll get an Aaron McClure, right?
Right.
Where you just get that.
You know why? Because we sing so high, the bass voice doesn't really sound low. We're singing up high. If we say you got to bring the key lower for the bass voice. But when we're singing so high, the bass voice is not really a bass voice. It doesn't really correlate. But
when you get it, see, and now I've had somebody who's like an amazing person. Explain that to me, and now I know.
I mean, I think that's part of the problem.
Well, I just think it's amazing. Speaking of almost a bass voice and I know this is bittersweet, but the American Grandstand with Daryl Singletary album, and your versions of Golden Rings, yes.
Thank you. Man, I miss singing with him. We did a country show at a land cruise up in Berlin, Ohio at the Amish Country Theater recently. And I, for the first time after the passing of Daryl Singletary, getting to sing the song One from there, which is one of my favorites from there, with my guitar player, Zach Arnold. Did not know. It was a nice surprise that he knows some of those songs. And so I get to sing those again, but I so miss singing with Daryl. One of the greatest voices in country music.
He had that, what I call the drop voice, and I can't do it, but he would, he would take the note and then bring it up.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would hit that, he would start it on the bounce, the low note, and then he'd bounce it up. And it's not something a lot of people can pull off.
Well, here's some trivia for you on this song. Is it Golden Ring? It is Golden Ring on that song. So he called me in the middle of recording. I was in Missouri. He called me. He said, hey, get an engineer, because we'd put some background vocals on it and he didn't like it. And so he said, get me an engineer. He said, I want to get some background vocals on that. I said, I got an idea. It's like, okay, so call the engineer, because he was recording at my studio. I just wasn't there. Got the engineer over there. Didn't know what he'd done. That's the only thing he ever took an initiative to do on the whole album. He would come in and sing, and then he would go home. But this is like, okay, this is important. They send it to me, and I listen to him like, oh my gosh, it's like a whole, it's like the background singers at the Grand Ole Opry are on it.
I know, he had the bass voice.
And I said, who did you? And so it's got this really high voice on it, and it's got the really low voice on it. And I'm like, who did you get to come in and sing it? He goes, I sang them all. So go back and listen to that. Listen to the high harmony voice and listen to the low. Those are all Daryl Singletary singing those. Nobody hardly knows that. That's a good trivia on Daryl Singletary album. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Now you're going to really listen to this.
I am. I'm going to go deep dive on it. I'm going to live there for all the rest of this afternoon. Thanks for just ruining my day, because that's all I'm going to be able to do is to sit back and listen to that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're limited on time. I promised him I would get you in and out because you've got things to do. This crown's starting to
hurt my head too.
I know, and you've got the queen, you got the tiara. But you have to promise me we'll do this again.
Anytime. You have my number now, so you just let me know anytime.
Rhonda Vincent, the Queen of Bluegrass. All of your subjects are happy to pledge our loyalty.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the inevitable. End of life. Once I leave this earth, I can't do anything for my loved ones, but I've just learned by pre-planning a funeral or cemetery in advance takes the guesswork out when death occurs suddenly and your mind is clouded with grief. Dignity Memorial can help. My friend Tina Skurla pre-plans funeral and cemetery arrangements so loved ones don't have to. They're North America's largest provider of funeral, cremation, and cemetery services. They're dedicated to getting every detail right, and they do that by listening to you. I know it's a hard subject, but I also know we all see the sense and value of what Dignity Memorial does. Use the promo code Gary to get 25% off at Willow Glen Funeral Home. Reach out to my friend Tina Skurla today. She's committed to helping families not go through the tragedy of loss alone. Click on the link, use the promo code Gary, or email her at dmppa.tinaskurla.com or call 408-398-7050. Sterling Oak Cabinetry has one goal: to build the cabinets of your dreams. They literally specialize in custom cabinetry. No cookie cutter, everything looks the same stuff that you find at the big box stores. Your kitchen is the centerpiece of your home, and your home is your biggest investment. They can work with you or your designer to build just what you want with the materials and finish that you want. And because they're a brand new company, they'll be getting busier and busier, but if you order right now, they'll get your order to you in 6 to 8 weeks. In the world of cabinetry, that's blindingly fast. Contact Rob Scovman at RSKOVMAND at yahoo.com or go to sterlingoakcabinetry.com and get your dreams made reality tomorrow.